children some type of way about that. The fact that your oppressor doesn't care, the fact that your oppressor, I gotta take it a step further. The fact that your oppressor wants to allow this, that should make you feel some type of way. This is the same oppressor that you love so much, though, black man. This is the same oppressor that you go run to time in and time out. We go to camp in Detroit or Cleveland or Toledo, anywhere we go to camp, and we bring out the color scriptures. What's the first thing they say? What's the first thing a black man says? Well, what about white people? Fam, I promise you, if we were blue-eyed devils on that corner saying what we saying, but instead of saying that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the chosen Israelites of God, your oppressor was. I guarantee you, they would not say, well, what about black people? Well, what about Asians? What about Hispanic? They're not sitting here going to bat for you like how you do for them. That's because we are a caring nation. And this is biblical right here, what we reading about too. Everything that we saying, again, this is all biblical. We are a caring nation, a nurturing nation. Not like your oppressor. Your oppressor is known for living by the sword. Whatever power he gains, whatever authority he has gotten, is because he fought for it. It's because he shot his way into it, that authority. It's because he brutalized his way into that position. Not worked his way up like a black man would. So let's read that again. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. See, when we come in authority, when Christ comes down on this earth and puts us in our rightful place on top today on the earth, when that happens, you know what I'm saying, there aren't gonna be no wars. There is gonna be no Palestine versus the fake Jews over there in Israel. There is gonna be no fighting for oil. There is gonna be no war on homelessness, quote unquote. There's a quote unquote war on homelessness right now, but instead your tax dollars is going to another country. Your tax dollars is going to fund another war. Shocker, isn't it? That's not. Tell me something new. Tell me something new in America, man. When hasn't? Let me just let me just ask you like this: when hasn't your tax dollars gone to a war in America? Your tax dollars has always gone to a war. I know. Ever since I've been a working class citizen, which isn't long, I must admit, I'm only 20. Been in the workforce for about 5 years. But all 5 of those years, them tax dollars, guess what? Went to your oppressor, went to fund another war that you had nothing to do with, no control over. You can't choose where you want your money to. I guarantee if they gave us that option of where our money went, it wouldn't be to go fund a war. It'd probably be to go fund a homeless shelter or in the real war of homelessness. But they don't give a damn about that because your oppressor is a bloodthirsty, lustful child. All he cares about is his power. He's a hungry, power-hungry individual, man. That's just what you gotta understand about your oppressor. He's power-hungry, and he's gonna do whatever he has to do. He's gonna step on whoever he has to maintain his control, to maintain that foot being across your neck. Let's read that again, Slocky. That's something in my eye. Slocky. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The people rejoice, man. That means the people are in happiness. The people will be happy. The people will be happy, man. The tax dollars, you know what I'm saying? Slocky. They won't have to spend an arm and a leg in the grocery store no more. When the righteousness are in authority, it's like when the righteous is in authority, they're not gonna have to spend an arm and a leg on food. Don't you know before your oppressor put his foot all throughout the earth, You didn't have to pay for these items. You didn't have to pay for food until your oppressor got his hands on everything. Until your oppressor got in power. That's when you had to pay for food and water. You go to the gas station today, you have to pay $5 for a bottle of water. Why am I paying for this? This comes out of this comes out the sky. That water, that same water that he's charging you $5 for, came straight out the sky. He didn't make that water, but yet he also don't you know if you put a bucket of water? I mean, it's like if you put a bucket, you know what I'm saying, outside to collect the water, that's a crime. If a police officer seen you doing that, they'd lock you up for that, man. You can't even put a bucket outside to collect the water. That's how power hungry your oppressor is, man. That's how controlling your oppressor is, man. When we not like that, man. Especially that's why it says when the righteous are in authority, because when we come back in authority, come back into power, you know what I'm saying? We are gonna be in rulership, but it's gonna be a righteous rulership. We are that the kingdom is gonna be governed by these laws right here that we reading about inside the ISUPK. It's like inside the Bible. These laws, you know what I'm saying? The laws that's gonna be in that kingdom is gonna come straight out the Bible, man. Which is why it is gonna be a perfect kingdom. It's gonna be a perfect kingdom, man. And we not gonna have homelessness like your oppressor will. It's like we not gonna have homelessness like your oppressor does today. We're not gonna have a war on homelessness, quote unquote. I keep saying quote unquote when I say war on homelessness because it's not a hard thing to fight. The problem is they don't care. They don't care about fighting that. They want to fight everything else that comes up against them. The homelessness isn't a problem to them. It's not one of their priorities. Because let's face it, the homelessness doesn't affect their business, doesn't affect their profit, doesn't affect their control on the earth. So that's not a priority for them. But it will be a priority for us when we come, you know what I'm saying, and get that righteousness and get the kingdom. Now let's keep going here. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. But when the wicked are ruling, as you see today, that's why the Bible is so heavy, man. Uh that's why I came into the truth today, man. Because in the ISUPK under Commander Jimmy Hunter, man, we actually read the Bible in here. We actually read and interpret the Bible up in here, man. Everything that you read up inside the Bible, you could see for yourself today. You could see this and how it's playing out today. The wicked are in authority right now, today, in 2023. And guess what? The people are mourning. The people are constantly in an uproar. Look at UAW. They've been on strike for how long? All they wanted was more wages. The casino, they've been on strike for how long? How what did they want? They just wanted more money. And you would think that's not even a hard request to deliver right there, man. But your oppressor is so goddamn money hungry. You will risk every single employee leaving his company just to think that he's keeping money. All that money that those employees brought them during that pandemic means nothing to him. It means absolutely nothing to him, man. And all they asking for, they not even asking for something hard to do. They not even ask. It's not like they asking for what is it? Damn, I can't think of it right now. It's not like they asking for something hard for the oppressor to do, man. It's not something hard for the oppressor to just increase their wages, especially considering that these are the same employees that helped you get up off that pandemic, that brought you money during that pandemic, that made you a bigger industry than you were before the pandemic, and you can't increase their wages. That shows you what type of power that we under today. As far as the oppressor goes, man, your oppressor is a sick, conniving, disgusting human being to serve under, man. And I promise you, man, the kingdom is gonna be a righteous place, and we is not gonna be in an uproar like we are constantly in America. That's not gonna happen when we bear rule. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, man. You got people that don't even have houses. You got, not only is it homeless people, but your oppressor is so goddamn conniving and sick and disgusting that the people that don't have homes, that are just trying to find a place to live, to sleep. You're just trying to find a place to sleep at nights. Those same people, they're making. You know what? I'm gonna save that for when we pull that article, because we about to pull that article now. It's gonna shock you. It's really gonna shock you, man. How disgusting your oppressor is. Hey, yo, yo, JD. Hey, come here. It's gonna shock you when you find out how disgusting your oppressor is, man. How evil your oppressor is, man. Let's see if we got more on that. All right, we're gonna drop that. Now we're gonna get into this article, man. Hey Alexa, what is hostile architecture?
Good evening, Yash. Hostile architecture is an urban design strategy that uses elements of the built environment to purposefully guide or restrict behavior.
All right, so today what we gonna learn about is hostile architecture, and that was like a brief overview of what it is, but we gonna learn what hostile architecture is used for. Hey Alexa, give a definition for anti-homeless
The
hostile
term
architecture.
define can be used to describe, clarify, or give a precise meaning to an idea,
Alexa,
concept.
stop. Hey Alexa, give a definition for anti-homeless hostile architecture.
Anti-homeless spikes are an example of hostile architecture, also known as defensive architecture. It is the use of architectural elements in public spaces to influence the behavior of living beings and restrict certain activities, such as rough sleeping.
All right, Slocky, I'm gonna just pull this up on the screen so you guys could get a visual interpretation of what we going over here today. All right, so this is what anti-homeless hostile architecture looks like, man. So this is a perfect example right here. So what we have here is a bench. Now these arms right here were put on the bench to stop homeless people from sleeping on the bench. And again, this just shows you how evil your oppressor really is, man. Instead of putting metrics in place, instead of implementing more homeless shelters and actual more places to put the homeless people to rest the homeless people, instead of fixing the problem, what they're trying to do is they're trying to hide the problem. This is all this is doing right here. It's not eliminating homelessness right here. Because what's gonna happen? Yo, come here.
My bad. I was
Can you bring some waters? So what this is doing right here is it's not fixing the problem. The problem being is that we have homelessness to begin with. That problem is not going away by putting these arms on the bench. People are still going to be homeless, whether they sleep on this bench right here or if they sleep right here on the concrete or wherever else they may deem a comfortable spot, man. We got all types of designs like this because what happened was they tried to implement this in New York. I'm gonna see if I can find that article. They tried to implement this in New York, and the people were just not having it. So what they did was they stopped implementing it, and then they started back a couple months later, and they were a lot more creative in the architecture that they use for this. We got these. Come on, like this is just unnecessary right here. Like, why else would these spikes be right here? And it's crazy because if you aren't familiar with this term known as hostile architecture, you would just think this is right here for display or something like that. But when you actually find out why these spikes are right here, it should make you uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable. We got another one. This is a windowsill, man. And why is there balls? Pause. Why is there balls on this windowsill, man? Now you understand why all these weird designs are all throughout the city. It's to stop people from sleeping in a semi comfortable place. They already don't have a house. All right, I think you guys get the point. Now we gonna see if we can find an article. All right, so this is an article from the New York Times, and it's titled "Hostile Architecture: How Public Spaces Keep the Public Out." Hostile design has flourished in New York as a way to maintain order and ensure public safety, but critics say it is inhumane and targets the homeless. Now, right here, already you can see that they're trying to mask this and make it seem. It's like, let me bring this microphone closer. Hopefully, you guys were able to hear me. But as you can see, man, already just in the title, you could see that your oppressor in the media, they're trying to mask this and make it seem as if it's not as inhumane and evil as it is. It says hostile design has flourished in New York as a way to maintain order and ensure public safety. What does public safety have to do with a man sleeping on the bench? I promise you, I'm going to be safe whether that man decides to sleep on that bench or not. So cut the uh, slack it. You gotta cut the garbage out, man. You gotta cut the crap. All right. You could read in between the lines and just see that that's a load of crap right there, man. Nobody is unsafe whether a homeless man decides to sleep on a bench or not. It's not it's not making anybody unsafe. What is making people unsafe, however, is all these wars that your oppressor continues to want to chime in on and partake in. That's what's making people safe unsafe. So if you want to talk about things making the public unsafe, you should be talking about that. You should be trying to eliminate that. But no, that's not the big issue here. The big issue is where Big Bill decides to lay his head at. That's the big issue, huh? Come on, man. But critics say it is inhumane and targets the homeless, which it does. Tries to throw a negative light in there and say critics has a very negative connotation. Whenever people give you some type of feedback and they don't like the feedback, what do they call you? They call you a critic. They say, "Oh, he's just a critic." They say it in a sarcastic manner. So it has a negative connotation. So as you can see, this article is clearly trying to throw a negative connotation on the people that can clearly see that this is a load of crap right here. The people that can clearly see that this is inhumane. And this ties in exactly with that scripture that we pulled at the top of the class, man. Your oppressor is inhumane and he's a wicked, conniving piece of garbage, man. For lack of a better terminology, that's just what your oppressor is. And once we come into rulership, everybody will rejoice. Yes, this Bible was made for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The kingdom is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But everybody will rejoice once we come into power. And you can see the writing on the wall and why that is the case today. Today, in your own oppressor's kingdom, his people are at the bottom as well. A lot of his people are at the bottom, man. And this is his kingdom. If he could do that to his own people, that shows you what type of person he really is. Let's keep going. Come on, man. Like this is just crazy right here, man. We got the shark teeth, shark metal teeth going down this banister, whatever this is right here, man. You could see somebody, a homeless person that has nowhere else to stay. They would definitely sleep right here if this spike wasn't right here. You see why they put those spikes right there. Then we got the metal bars similar to the bars that we seen earlier. Metal bars on a bench, stop a brother from laying down. Ugly bolt lines, the ledges at a public plaza. These are all ways of saying don't make yourself at home in public. This so called hostile architecture has flourished in New York, even as the city has significantly added more public space in the last decade, including new plazas and parkland, pedestrian areas once used for cars, and reclaimed industrial waterfront. Let's keep going here. Proponents say this type of urban design is necessary to help maintain order, ensure safety, and curb unwanted behavior such as loitering, sleeping, or skateboarding. But hostile, hold up, man. Now, this makes no sense right here, man. How in the hell is this boat right here gonna stop somebody from loitering or skateboarding? Let's go up some more, cause we just trying to make this make sense. How in the hell is these armrests right here gonna stop people from loitering or skateboarding? If they want to sit right here all day, they're gonna sit right here all day. If they want to skateboard, you can clearly hold up. Let me get the mouse. You can still skateboard on this. I've seen videos of people skateboarding. All they do is skate across this. The side of their skateboard diagonally, they skate just like that. So you can still skateboard on that. I don't, as well as this. If they were trying to eliminate skateboarding, they would have done something with the ledge, because that's what was really needed. They used the ledge right here, but they didn't do that. You want to know why they didn't do that? Because that's not what they were targeting. Let's keep going. But hostile architecture in New York and other cities has increasingly drawn a backlash from critics who say that such measures are unnecessary and disproportionately target vulnerable populations. They have assailed what they call anti homeless spites for targeting those who have nowhere else to go at a time when many cities are grappling with the homelessness crisis. In New York, about 79,000 people are homeless, of which about 5% are believed to live on the street, according to federal estimates. Hostile architecture can be as subtle as simply not providing a place to sit, as obvious as a wall or fence to keep people or animals out, or as aggressive as metal studs embedded in pavement. These designs often go unnoticed in the busy city state. That's just what we were talking about earlier, man. If you're not aware of the term hostile architecture, you would never notice that is a thing. But it is a thing, definitely, and it is quite astonishing how often you see it once you start to pay attention to it. All right, so we basically got an understanding of what we're reading about, so we could drop that. Now let's get back to these scriptures, man. That article right there shows you how evil your oppressor really is, man. That shows you the true nature of your oppressor. All right, so with that being said, we gonna drop that. Now we gonna get into the topic of the class. Like I said, this topic comes from off the heels of last week's law class. where we were talking about how the Christian church is a has destroyed the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, has destroyed God's chosen people, and it has not done us a service to partake in that religion. And in that, we had uh we had oppressors, you know what I'm saying, comment on that video saying that God is for everybody and that everybody could be saved. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not true, man. God only loves Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And that is all throughout the Bible right there. We could pull that as we do time in and time out in the ISUPK, we go precept upon precept, line by line, man. You're not gonna see us, you know what I'm saying, say something and then we just can't back it up with the scriptures, man. Everything we say comes directly out of the Bible, comes from history, comes from science. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna pull that in the Bible because a lot of people don't even know that the Most High hates. See, the Christian church has fooled you into believing. That's the problem right there. You listening to your goddamn stupid Christian pastor that has never read a Bible a day in his life, man. You trying to learn about God from a man that doesn't know God, and then tell the real men of God how God operates. You see how dumb that is? You see how that doesn't correlate? You see how that doesn't add up? It don't make sense. It don't make a lick of sense, man. The reason why you don't know that the Most High hates, the reason why you don't understand, you know what I'm saying, who God's chosen people is because you don't know God. But it's okay, man. We about to teach you. We about to give you a deep analysis of who God really loves and who God really hates. Because guess what? God hates. So let's get into it, man. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved. Now, Jacob, if you don't know, Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Jacob got his name changed to Israel. So because he got his name changed to Israel, that's why we are called the Israelites, because he is our forefather. You know what I'm saying? And it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but there's a but. Guess what? There's a but, man. Jacob, you know what I'm saying? Israel, the Israelites, those are only 12 nations. I mean, it's like it. Those are only 12 tribes right there. There's other nations besides that. And we about to get an understanding of those other nations. But Esau have I hated. Damn. That's out the Bible, man. You read that straight out the Bible. We reading this directly out the Bible, man. It's not out somebody notebook. It's not out somebody, you know what I'm saying? We're not reading somebody's opinion here. This is straight out the Bible. And it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And it's heavy that it even says as it is written, because you know what that means? As it is written means that this is the first time that this is being said. This isn't some revelation that we reading about here, man. This isn't some brand new ideology that we're learning about here. This is a common theme. Apparently this is a common theme because it says as it is written, meaning this isn't the first time that this is being read, that you could find this inside the Bible. It's not the first time you could find it, man. But I know you didn't know that. because you got your head so far up your oppressor's butt. That's the problem right there. You got your head so far up the oppressor's butt, you can't see the truth. You can't see the truth. You can't see the truth that your oppressor is your enemy, is your real enemy, not the Bloods, not the Crips. You understand you have gang violence because of your oppressor, right? If your oppressor didn't put those drugs in your community to begin with, you wouldn't have gang violence. But yeah, you hate Day Day so bad. You want to kill Day Day so bad. You want to murder your brother, all because your oppressor influenced you to do so. You know what that makes you? That makes you a follower. That makes you a groupie, man. A big groupie. You claim you the most toughest nigga on the block, and you a groupie. You a follower. That don't sound tough to me. You want to know who the real tough guys are? It's the men in here, man. It's the men in the ISUPK under Command of General Hanna, and the women. And the women. I'll say that too, man. The women in here in the ISUPK are tougher than any of you quote unquote street niggas in the world, man. I'll say that. I'll say it again. I'll say that constantly. Because it's the truth, man. You know how much you know how much it takes for an individual to say, you know what? I'm not being like them over there, man. I'm not being like my I'm not doing what they told me to do because it doesn't make sense. There's no logic behind following your oppressor. The best thing your oppressor could do for you is make you feel good. That's all his ideology does for him. That's why so many people go on the atheist route. That's why so many people go on the spirituality route. It's like I said that wrong. Spirituality. That's definitely not a word. That's why so many people go on the spiritual route, man. Every sister that I meet that says they're spiritual, they have no type of laws or morality for them at all. They don't have no feast days they keep. They don't have no no laws to abide by. There's no there's no rulership, no guidance, no nothing there. So really all spirituality is just you following after your lust. That's all your oppressor can offer you is what feels good. What makes you feel good? What gets you off? All right, so now we're gonna go in the book of Saint Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 56. Actually, Sluggy, we gotta start at verse 54. So let me get that real quick. All right, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So now we learn about Sluggy. Let's read that again. Let's read that. All right, we're gonna start that from the top, Sluggy. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. So it says, of him come we all. We all come from Adam, uh, not because of what your stupid Christian pastor told you back in the day, man. Your oppressor has got to be the biggest liar on this earth, man. Because your oppressor is such a liar and he's lied about damn near everything that pertains to the Bible, that is why we are called the home of the truth right there. It's because we've been debunking his lies since 1969. We've been correcting you and washing your brain. People like to say when you tell them that you joined the ISUPK, they like to tell you, "Oh, you've been brainwashed." You damn right you've been brainwashed. Your brain has took a deep dive and it has been cleansed with the scriptures and with correction and with counseling. So yes, indeed, my brain has been washed, and I'm glad you noticed. You dummy, you need yours washed next. People like to say that like that's something bad to say, like that's an insult. When you got the dirtiest brain I done never seen, man. The only thing that comes in your mind is how to commit a crime, or how am I gonna how am I gonna get that man over there to sleep with me? That's all that could come up inside your brain, man. We got 40-year-olds that still want to be 15. We got 40-year-olds that still running bustos. Like, man, how are you still doing that, man? Me personally, I could just never understand that. That's always just been dirty to me. Like, why do you think that's cool? Why do you think that's cool? That just never made sense to me. So for me to be my age and still that's just always been nasty to me. You 40, you're double my age, and you still think that's okay? Like, I'm just not understanding the thought process there. But let's get back to this. So it says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. It says, of him come we all, because when the earth got flooded, the earth had to be repopulated by Noah and his family. You know what I'm saying? And Noah is a direct descendant of Adam. So when it says, of him come we all, that's what it's referring to right there. Noah and his children. Noah uh had multiple nations come through him throughout his bloodline, you know what I'm saying? Each child of his held a specific nation. So let's keep going here. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Slakia. It says the world was made for our sakes, man. And it's talking about first it said we can't skip past that part right there because that's extremely heavy right there. First it said, uh, thou hast chosen. To choose somebody means what? Everybody. If you choose one person or you choose one specific group of people, guess what? The other people are not included in that. That's just like if you have children. Let's say for example you have a child and you choose your firstborn son. So you know what I'm saying? His job is to go take the trash out. Now, if the other child does that, you're gonna look at him and say, why would you do that? I didn't choose you. I didn't elect you for that position. That position was specifically for the firstborn child. So if you choose one person for a specific task or one person is chosen as that chosen one, everybody else can't be chosen, right? So there's some flaws in what your Christian pastor is saying and what the Bible is saying, man. And you want to know why there is flaws in what the pastor says and what the Bible says? It's because the pastor doesn't teach from the Bible. All right? That's what you got to understand. That needs to be firmly engraved and implanted in your mind for everything regarding the Bible, regarding Christ, regarding the Most High, regarding all of that. For any of that to make sense, you just need to throw away whatever the pastor told you. If the pastor told you that you could eat a pork chop, you probably can't eat a pork chop because he told you. And guess what? The pastor only tells you what he wants to do and what his flesh desires. See, that's what see that's the issue right there. The issue that we dealing with is that we have people in these positions of power, and all they seem to care about is what they desire or what you may desire. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad when you really think about it, because these people are in these positions to teach you, to instruct you, to guide you, to counsel you, to make you just the overall a better person, and they're not doing that. You know, it's really sad when you start to think about it, because a lot of the problems that are, you know what I'm saying, involved in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, a lot of the problems would be solved, or I could at the very least say they'd be closer to being solved if we had actual righteous human beings, you know what I'm saying, in these positions. But instead, what do we have? We have molesters, we have pedophiles, we have homos, like it, we have alternative lifestyles, you know what I'm saying, in these positions. We have money hungry, disgusting, vile people that are strictly after your money. They don't care about if you are really righteous. Let's just be honest here. They're not there to actually make you righteous. All they're there for is to put on a show, to make you feel good, and to take your goddamn money. And if that's their real job, they're doing it. They're doing a wonderful job at it too. It's quite sad. It's very sad when you actually think about it. Let's keep going here. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. The world was made for. Let me play this up. The world was made. Sluggy. Let's read that again. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes, man. He made the world for one specific uh group of people. And we found out what that group of people was in Romans. And we reading some more about it here in Second Esdras. So let's keep going. As for the other people, now we about to get another. I should say another, because we just learned, we read in Romans already how the Most High hates the oppressor, how the Most High hates Esau. So this is just another, you know what I'm saying, interpretation. So let's keep count right here. This is the second scripture, and what does it say? As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. With that being said, this is the Wednesday. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, man. We could close it out right there if we really wanted to, man. This just this scripture right here, reading this just is just mind boggling to me. How a book that's just so real, so authentic, so clear cut could be misconstrued and mistaught, really. How a book like this that's just so clear cut and you know what I'm saying, what it's saying can just be misconstrued and mistaught all throughout the earth. It's just really mind boggling to me. But it says, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. I got news for you, black man. Yo, Edomite boss that you have wet dreams about every other day. Yo, Edomite boss that you that you serve timing and time out. That Edomite, you know what I'm saying? That you got the googly eyes for, or that Edomite that you think is your best friend, and that you get mad every time we go to camp and say that the Bible is only made for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That Edomite that you have in the back of your mind when you say, "Oh, what about white people?" The Bible just said that they are nothing. So how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? I know it makes me feel good, honestly. It makes me feel great. I could go to sleep off that thought. Actually, thou has said that they are nothing. The same people that have rewritten history, that have rewrote history, you know what I'm saying, took your history, threw it in the trash, and only gave you slavery, and then painted everybody pale faced pigs and told you to worship them. Told them that they're Christ, that they're God. Those same people that did all that to you, not to mention slavery, we could sit here and talk hours about slavery and what and how much cruel nonsense goes on went on during that time period, or we could bring it back into 2023, or the cruel nonsense that happens to you today. You still get shot down like a dog in the street today when slavery was quote unquote ended, right? I thought they ended slavery. If they ended slavery, why are you still being shot down like a dog in the street? Why do you still have to serve them in order to be able to eat and drink water? It sounds like slavery to me. That same people that has done all these heinous acts to you is nothing. Is deemed nothing according to the Most High. That should make you feel good about yourself, man. Your Christian Pat, a lot of people, a lot of black people, I should say, left the Christian church strictly because uh if there was a God, why why would he allow slavery to happen? It's because he put you in slavery. He put you in slavery. If there was a God, why is my slave master living so good? He's not living so good. He's gonna die tomorrow. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle. Now, if you don't know what spittle is, man, this right here is very heavy. That the Bible even says this. The Bible said that your oppressor, the same oppressor that you serve, the same oppressor. This is just honestly crazy when you start to think about it. This oppressor that you serve in America today, this oppressor that you have dropped your sword, you have completely dropped the laws of God, the laws of the Most High, the laws of the Bible, in favor of serving your oppressor. Well, guess what the Most High thinks of your oppressor? But be like unto spittle. You know what spittle is? Let's ask Alexa. Alexa, hey Alexa, what
Hi
is,
there.
what is spittle? Hey Alexa, what is spittle?
Spittle is a fancy name for saliva, which is a watery fluid secreted by the salivary glands in the mouth. It is made up of water, electrolytes, mucus, white blood cells, epithelial cells, enzymes, and antimicrobial
Alexa,
agents.
stop. She just gave you fancy terminology to say spit. That's literally what she said. I can't make this up, man. The Most High said that you are saliva. That's what he thinks of you. He thinks of you as a small drop of saliva. That's what the Most High thinks of you, man. You know how crazy that is? It's not crazy, it's just mind boggling when you actually start to apply that to your life. So let's keep going. And has likened the abundance of them onto a drop that have fallen from a vessel, man. Think of you, you know what I'm saying? You made a bucket of Kool-Aid and you have to carry it to the fridge, but you don't have a top on that bucket of Kool-Aid. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be little droplets, you know what I'm saying, that fall off that bucket of Kool-Aid. Those little droplets that fall, those are your oppressor. Those are little tiny droplets, little minuscule droplets that you won't even notice. They're so goddamn small that when they hit the ground and evaporate, you're not even gonna see it. You're not even gonna notice it. It's not even gonna be. You know how you spill some juice or something on a wooden floor. It gets sticky after a while. Or you spill it on carpet and then leave a red stain. Yeah, it's so goddamn small you won't even notice it. That's what your oppressor is, man. Your oppressor is so small and minuscule to the Most High, he doesn't even notice it. He doesn't even notice him. And you should take that into consideration when you come up to us while we at camp and tell us, well, what about Bill? Well, what about white people? God don't give a damn about them, man. He don't care about them. All right? He does not love them. Now, when we say we racist, people often get this misconstrued. When we say that we are racist, all that means is that we love our people. All right? We don't go out and commit crimes against the oppressor. That's not us. That's what your oppressor does, ironically, isn't it? Isn't that ironic? That's what your oppressor does to us. But no, we're not him. We're not him, man. We don't go out and commit heinous acts against uh your oppressor. Even though we could, and it would be righteous. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Slack you. Don't. Just act like I didn't say that, man. No. What else we got here? And now let's go on the book of Matthews. This is always a good scripture for this topic. Let's go there real fast. This is the book of Matthew. It's like, let me make sure the stream. Let's go on the book of Matthew. All right, yeah, we too wild. I just had to make sure that was still running. All right, so let's go on the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 5. These 12 uh Jesus sent forth. Jesus' name, real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. So let's keep going. These 12 Christ sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. Now, if the Most High wasn't racist, If the Most High loved everybody like your Christian pastor told you he did, why would he give instructions not to go into that, not to go into those people? I'm about to pull the definition of Gentile real quick, just for edification purposes, just in case you may not be aware of what a Gentile is. There are two definitions, but in understanding, you know what I'm saying, how the Most High feels about different races in the Bible, you could understand, you know what I'm saying, and just compartmentalize which definition is for which specific situation. So let's pull that. Gentile. Usually it means a non-Israelite people. So that's the definition we needed right there. A Gentile is a non-Israelite. So basically it's another nation. Now, like I said previously, if the Most High loves everybody, if Christ loves everybody, if Christ is coming to save everybody, wouldn't he send his 12 to the non-Israelites as well? No. No, that's not what happened. It's not what happened at all, man. In fact, quite the opposite. He told them, he literally told them not to go that way. That should tell you what type of person Christ is right there. He told them not to go that way. Let's keep going. And into any city of the Sumerians enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's where Christ wanted the 12 to go. Why? Because that's who Christ cares about. That's who Christ loves. That's who the Most High loves. Love is an action. You may not know that because you say you love your man up and down, but will do anything to dishonor him. You say you love your man up and down. You swear any chance you get, you'll say, "Oh yeah, I love my man." But any chance you get, you will dishonor him, disrespect him, tell him no, all type of. So clearly you must not know what love is. But love is an action. It's not a word that you just toss around whenever you see somebody you think is cute. All right, that's not what love is. Let's grow up here. We're adults now. We gotta understand what this means. Love is an action. All right. Christ is showing you right here in this scripture who he loves. He's showing you with his actions who he loves, man. He clearly don't love your Edomite that you love. He clearly don't love Esau like you love him. So you gotta make a decision here, man. Is you gonna stand with the person that loves you, Christ? Is you gonna stand with the people that love you, Christ, the Most High, the ISUPK? Or is you gonna stand with your oppressor that say he love you, but guess what? The gift destroyeth the heart. He got you confused as ever. That new that new raise he gave you got you compartmentalizing. That new raise he gave you got you thinking, damn, maybe all white people not bad. That's what he got you thinking. Joe goof. Slucky, let me take let me take it easy. Come on, man. You gotta wake up. A gift destroyeth the heart, man. And that little raise he gave you got you thinking that he actually likes you. He don't actually like you, man. See, that's how your oppressor operates. He operates different. Your oppressor operates like a war general, man. You know what I'm saying? He will give you that raise at your job, not because he wants you, not because he sees you as a valuable asset, not because he necessarily wants you at his job. He's keeping you there so his competition doesn't have you. I've literally seen billion-dollar corporations buy, you know what I'm saying, a car with certain technology in it. The car is clearly about to break down. They overpaid for this car like crazy just so their competitors don't get that technology that's in that car. Now they're not gonna use the car. They're not gonna actually use anything inside the car. They're strictly buying that car off of pedestrians so their competitors don't, you know what I'm saying, get that technology. And that's exactly how your oppressor operates with you, black man. You got to wake up and understand that. He gave you that raise at your job, again, not because he necessarily needs you at that job. He just don't want you going to his competitors, or worse, you getting your own business. You partnering up with another black man, and you guys, you know what I'm saying, are now his competitors. So that's something you may want to keep in mind. All right. All right. Let's now we about to go in the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. Let's get it. Let's like second. James, a servant of God, a servant of God. It's like let's start from the top. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Now it says that he's a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Now it says to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. It does not say to everybody, like your Christian pastor will tell you. Your Christian pastor will tell you that Christ is for everybody, that God is for everybody, and that these priests that we reading about in the Bible are for everybody. But who did it just say it was for? To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Now some fake Jew online, they might try and tell you that they're the 12 tribes scattered abroad. But let's just be honest here for a second. Who do you see on every corner of every nation, every country? You can see who the 12, oh, I mean, it's like you could see who the scattered flock is on the earth, man. There is black people everywhere. You can't pinpoint a place that is predominantly black. Why is that? Because everywhere you go, there's black people, man. Let's see what else we got here. We can keep going. Let me see. All right, so this right here is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7:14. Now, this scripture right here is just further proof, you know what I'm saying, that Christ, you know what I'm saying, came out of the same, that Christ is our depiction, man. Let's let's read this. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. Now, Christ came out of the tribe of Judah. Now, first of all, this debunks two lies. They try and tell you, one, that Christ wasn't born. Like, Christ wasn't born like how we were born. He was, well, no, that is a lie. Christ was conceived just like you were, just like everybody else was, man. Because if he wasn't, how could he have sprung out of Judah? That doesn't make sense. To be a descendant of a specific, you know what I'm saying, ethnicity, to have a certain background, you would have to be from that background, correct? That's just like a black man. A black man can't be, you know what I'm saying, sprung out of Asian. He can't be Asian if he's black. He was born black, so he's black. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we dealing with Christ right here. Now, if you don't know, Judah, uh, the 12 tribes chart is the Negroes. So guess what Christ is? Christ would be considered a Negro. You know what I'm saying? So guess what you are? You are a Judite if you are a Negro. If you call yourself African American, you are a Negro or a Judite on the 12 tribes chart, which means you are a descendant of Christ. And there's a reason. There's a very heavy reason as to why they would never, ever, ever publicly let you know that as a black man, as a Hispanic man, or as a Native Indian man. There's a very big reason as to why they would never, ever let it be known that. Because if you had that type of inspiration, that motivation to look up to, you would think twice about being a drug dealer, man. There's so many drug dealers in our community. There's so many gangbangers in our community. There's so many rappers that clearly make it big and still decide to throw their life away and go to jail. Why? Because that's the popular thing to do. They make it cool to be a gangbanger. And it's not on purpose. That's just the only, actually, slack it. It is on purpose. They make it cool to be a gangster and a drug dealer and all these things purposely to keep you down as a black man, as a Hispanic man, and as a Native Indian man. To keep you in a specific box. To keep you in a specific lane. They want you over here, you know what I'm saying, doing the gang banging, doing the drugs, doing all this, while they people go be doctors and lawyers and engineers. Which is why they would never tell you that Christ came, you know what I'm saying, from your bloodline. There was a study done. Officer Kwam Guam, Pittsburgh. Shout out to that brother, man. He brought this out, you know what I'm saying, in his lecture in Pittsburgh. If you weren't there, you should go check that out. That's on the Cleveland page. You know what I'm saying? He did a lecture, and he brought out the baby doll experiment. Little kids. Now this is little kids that just got conceived. You know what I'm saying? And they had a black baby doll and a white baby doll. And they asked these children which doll is good and which doll is bad. And they told the person asking them the white doll is good and the black doll is bad. Now, why do you think those kids told them that? It's because ever since they got pushed out, all that has been put into they brain, their television screens, the media outlets, that your oppressor is an angel. That your oppressor, that Christ is the color of your oppressor. That the Most High is the color of your oppressor. That Superman is the color of your oppressor. That Wonder Woman is the color of your oppressor. So they have all these positive, you know what I'm saying, role models. And then who do they blaster in your face and try and tell you is a bad guy? Who do they constantly put on the news and say black people can't get right? I just gave you the answer right there. Black people. They constantly put us on the television screens, constantly put us on the news, and say black on black crime is at a staggering rate, when Asian on Asian crime is at a staggering rate as well. But we don't talk about that. We could keep it going here. White on white crime is at a staggering rate. The fact is, you put the race of people in the same neighborhood, it's gonna look like there's a race on race crime there at a staggering rate. When all that is just the people in the same community conflicting. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? But they put it on the news just to make you look some type of way, just to make you feel bad about yourself, just to make you look at your own people with hatred. After I'm a you know what I'm saying, a priest at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And still to this day, I have to check myself and correct myself when in the way I conduct myself as far as my day to day life. Cause it's still times I admit this. There's still times where I go to the gas station and I'm looking over my shoulder and I'm moving as if I'm paranoid. When all I'm doing is going in the gas station that's in my hood. Like, that comes from all the negative lights that is put on the news by your oppressor to make you feel bad about your people and to make you frown upon your people. So just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? You should always keep it in mind when you conduct yourself in that manner that Christ was your color. Christ was the same color that you try and frown upon today, and that your oppressor makes you frown upon today. Christ was that same color. Are you gonna frown upon him when he comes on the earth today? And with that, we gonna close out right there. This is the Wednesday night law class for the Northeast Ohio Pittsburgh zone. If you in Northeast Ohio or Pittsburgh, make sure you tap in with the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? Get with your brothers, get with your sisters, man. That's a commandment right there. I know people may not know that, but it is a commandment to get with your brothers and to get with your sisters.